Desperate people do very dangerous things. Now, all of the headlines have been around Russian gas, which of course is damning enough. But I want to look deeper at some of the minerals that Klaus Schwab didn't think about when he was pushing for his Great Reset. You see, in order to move the world towards his Great Reset, you need a lot of minerals that he doesn't have right now. And China and Russia and their alliance are cutting off the world from silver, gold, copper, zinc, uranium, and more. To me, this is one of the most important stories of our time. NATO, led by the United States, is getting desperate. And if you need proof, just look at their bullying of Turkey over the last 24 hours. Now, Turkey is a country that said it would not support Sweden's membership to NATO after that Koran burning incident. Remember that? Well, how did that sit with the deep state people running NATO? Oh, they didn't like that. See, they need to expand NATO in order to survive, and they are dying. So what did NATO do to Turkey? Well, they started fomenting terrorist attack propaganda in Turkey, warning that terror attacks are coming in Turkey. Seriously, you can't even make this stuff up. Remember, Turkey is a member of NATO, and NATO is pissed that Turkey has been trying to broker peace between Russia and Ukraine. They were holding peace talks back in January, as we covered on the show, and Boris Johnson flew in and torpedoed those peace talks. NATO didn't want peace talks. They want war. Colonel Douglas McGregor was on our show last week, and he sees NATO's death coming sooner rather than later.
And I was asked specifically about NATO, and I said, if we push this and the Russians go in and we fail to negotiate an end to this quickly, this will destroy NATO. Remember, NATO was founded as a defensive alliance. It was never designed for offensive operations.
Right.
There's nothing in the NATO charter about attacking anyone. Everything's about being the object of attack. We have been trying to use NATO as an offensive weapon since the 1990s. Since stupid people like Senator Luger in the Senate said, well, either NATO is out of area, in other words, it's going to operate beyond Europe, or it's out of business. And most of us stood around at the time in the military and said, well, maybe it needs to go out of business because there's no reason for it to exist anymore. So I think as this moves forward and we put more and more pressure on the alliance, eventually the alliance will crumble.
NATO is a defensive organization created after World War II. NATO provokes a war with Russia by supporting nonstop bombing of innocent people in eastern Ukraine for the past 8 years, but it's Putin's fault. Got it. Thank you for that. They really think that we're stupid. Well, today they must think we're really, really stupid because NATO is today even more pissed that Turkey announced it won't allow Sweden into NATO, doubled down on it this week, said it would vote against it. So what does the US and the UK, what do they do about this? They start issuing warnings to people that we hear there are going to be terrorist attacks in Turkey very soon. So you might not want to travel there.